It's not a book launch. Bill Drummond's first 5 words may come as no surprise to anyone who's followed his and Jimmy Cauty's inventively abstruse creative partnership since their 1987 appearance as the Justified Ancients of Mew Mew. The band would later storm the charts as the KLF. For the purposes of writing a novel, 2023, which is either impenetrable or terrible or both. They're now the Jams again, sitting side by side in an independent Liverpool bookshop, having arrived at midnight in a customized ice cream van, blaring out the KLF's What Time Is Love and Be with a coffin in the back. This comes ahead of Welcome to the Dark Ages, a £100 a head, 400 capacity 3-day event drawing on themes from the book and the duo's 30-year history. They're rubber-stamping books instead of signing them, because of course they are. We look at each other for a split second. In a dismal feat of fansplaining, I suggest that surely this is all, indeed, the launch of a book. This is not a book launch, okay, Drummond cheerily reiterates. All right, it's not. I ask what we're all doing here. Bill executes a sarcastically elaborate shrug. Jimmy Cauty barely looks up from his rubber-stamping, but clarifies it's a book launch. The following morning I bump into Jimmy outside the Dead Perch Lounge, the event space over the next 3 days. He seems genuinely chuffed at the hysteria surrounding last night's boy band arrival. This has all been 23 years in the making, he adds, but in terms of driving up and down to Liverpool, it's taken about 9 months. That planning was actually the event for me. This is just the aftermath. I ask if there will be any mild peril over the coming days. I'm actually worried about whether there will be enough. Attendees are called in turn and assigned roles, as the event starts to take shape. There will be gravediggers and people nominated as strong swimmers. Some of us are told we'll need to sign waiver forms. Many roles like mine, stealing a traffic cone, are teetering on the edge of legality. Other attendees are inducted into a band called Badger, an imaginary group whose assigned superfans are instructed to make fanzines, post endlessly on social media, moan about Badger selling out, then get excited when the band announce a comeback. Later I meet ticket holder Vicky Pearson, who went straight from the role assignment to a tattoo parlor and now has a Badger tattoo on her wrist. She wasn't even assigned superfan role. I've got a family party on Saturday, she notes. It will be difficult to explain. I'm sure they'll smile, nod and support my choices. I don't know what to say. Bill Drummond and Jimmy Cauty debate why they burned £1 million. Photograph Richard Martin Roberts. Getty Images. Smiling, nodding and supporting choices forms part of Wednesday night's main event, a hearing based on roughly the 140th most interesting thing Drummond and Cauty ever did, burning £1 million. Tonight marks the end of a self-imposed 23-year moratorium on discussing their motivation. Suggestions are put forward by 5 guest speakers. Artist Jeremy Deller kicks it off with some chat about Neolithic ancient rites, while economist Ann Pettifer describes the act as quantitative tightening. The most persuasive argument is put forward by the band's PR Mick Horton. They were both having breakdowns, he says. They wanted to eclipse their history. In a shambolic voting session, the audience decides it was all down to a deep historical tradition of weirdness. Cauty and Drummond appear on stage in order to face this verdict, but one heckle leads to unplanned discussion on whether they'll destroy their ice cream van. Cauty, "We're not blowing it up. We've only just had it MOTD," and when asked for their response to the vote they seem lost for words. "Whatever," Cauty announces. "I don't know what to say," Drummond adds. "Just say whatever," Cauty advises him. "Whatever," Drummond says. They leave the stage to cheers. This is not exactly the world's toughest audience, but one of the biggest cheers of the night had come earlier, when Deller attempted to contextualize the money-burning's supposed artistic value. "There's no greater artwork," he announced, "than a great pop record. We won't know for another 2 days whether Badger can hope to substantiate that claim. But there's a ritual involving that coffin to get through first, and don't bet against at least one exploding ice cream van."